Welcome to From the Trenches, success shortcuts revealed by real-world innovators crushing it right now. I'm your host, Scott Hartley, and we're back with another episode packed with actionable strategies from today's most successful entrepreneurs. If you're tired of generic business advice and ready for real cutting-edge tactics that are working right now, you're in the right place. And today we're diving deep into how to effectively and profitably do authority marketing. And I can't wait for my guest to share with you her transformational insights and the results that she's starting to see for some of her other clients. So let me introduce you to Jamie Gilliland. She is a seasoned business leader, international speaker, and sales and marketing automation expert with decades of experience driving exponential growth for her companies and clients, resulting in millions of dollars in new revenue. Her journey into the C-suite began nearly 2 decades ago as the CEO of the innovative, technology-driven Mars Real Estate franchise, which she co-founded and shaped. She continued to merge new technology with traditional industries through ventures like MySite and partnerships with companies such as Infusionsoft, now known as Keep, and other software and tech firms. With her company, Keep It Simple Strategies, Jamie became one of the most successful Keep partners globally, earning accolades for both sales and client retention. Her effective strategies and campaigns have been utilized by prominent figures in the coaching industry. She's coached hundreds of entrepreneurs in building and growing their businesses. Currently, Jamie serves as the CEO of RIF Social, where she empowers clients with her extensive experience and insights into business and automation success. In this role, she acts not only as a leader, but also as a trusted advisor, helping clients maximize the power of RIF Social within their existing or planned sales and marketing efforts. Despite her busy schedule, Jamie dedicates time to personally add value to RIF Social's clients, including business owners, leadership teams, strategic partners, to ensure that RIF is deployed effectively and that their tech stacks and tactics are optimized. Under Jamie's leadership, RIF Social assists entrepreneurs and business leaders in expanding their companies in unprecedented ways and reaching previously untapped audiences, all while serving their stakeholders. Each month, Jamie and her team at RIF Social generate significant value and revenue for their clients. How much of that could have been yours? Jamie, I'm so excited to have you on the podcast today.
Thank you, Scott. And listening to that, you can tell somebody else wrote it because I was sitting here saying, wow, this is a pretty cool chick, but we got to stop.
No, you've got a tremendous background, and you and I know each other from the Keep community. We've both been Keep certified partners for quite a long time, and we've had a lot of opportunities to collaborate, with client projects and just kind of like a lot of different things. And when I heard what you were up to here recently, especially kind of migrating into RIF Social, I was like, oh my gosh, this is something that I want to know more about, and I know that my audience definitely needs to hear more about because social media is kind of like the thing nowadays. But before we dive into that, I would love to just kind of like get a little bit of a backstory on, your journey. Like, what kind of got you into, the whole marketing space, the automation, social media, and all of that.
Well, it's kind of funny. I tease a lot of times that if Al Gore started the internet, I started digital marketing. I think Al's older than I am, I think. Um, but the I started out with a bachelor's degree in information technology and which was programming in those days.
Hmm.
And then I went out and got my MBA with a focus on marketing. The
Okay.
two really had no connection at that point, but it made sense to me, so I did. So I started doing marketing, consulting, was in the tech industry. I was in sales, selling to what we called the Beltway Bandits, which were all of the government contractors in the DC area
Hmm.
back when the portables were the sewing machine style compacts.
Okay.
I'm dating myself. Went into all kinds. So I've had technology background for years.
Hmm.
Started Mars, and when we were building, Mars is the Market Area Real Estate Services, the company that was in my bio. When we started Mars, I was focused on all of the technology and what we were building. 2007, the company, we had created a franchise concept. I had an IPO on Wall Street for $3 million. We had just been named one of the top 100 new franchise concepts for Franchise Market Magazine. I had sold 3 franchises. Life was pretty darn good. I was living in Hilton Head on the beach, all kinds of stuff, right?
Nice.
And I ended up with a car accident. Somebody rear-ended me. And at the time, the police arrested him because I was his 4th accident in 2 days.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
so he rear-ended me. But because he did, my doctor sent me for an MRI for the whiplash,
Hmm.
for potential whiplash. And while I had whiplash, they also found out in that MRI that I had a massive brain tumor
Oh,
that
wow.
I didn't have any symptoms with and didn't know, what
Mm.
was going on. So I dealt with the health issue. And in the 6 months, now remember I said this is 2007. Think back to what was happening in the real estate industry in 2007.
Yep.
While I was out taking care of my health for 6 months, my business partner ended up closing. I literally had written the book on how to run the franchise step by step by step,
Hmm.
but I never put the systems in place for the corporate headquarters because I was there running it, right?
Ah, yep.
When I was gone for 6 months, the company faltered and
Hmm.
failed. And when I came back to work, there was no company really to come back to work to.
Wow.
So I became really, really passionate about building systems so that I was building my life, my work around my life, my business around my life, and
Mm.
not my life around my business.
So critical. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did survive the brain tumor, by the way. They didn't think I was going to survive. I had a 20% chance of surviving. So I am one of the 20 percenters.
That's awesome.
So anyway, that got me really excited about systems. And that's how I got into, I had a web design company that I was doing at the time. I found out about Infusionsoft and said, oh, that's too expensive. Nobody's going to want to use that. And then I realized, started using it for myself and said, this is actually a bargain, even at the $400 a month that it was back then.
Hmm.
And I have built thousands of companies using automation since. Now, one of the things that I've always struggled with is I can build the systems to handle the leads, but I didn't like what was going on with social media and lead gen. So I always outsource that. That can be somebody else's headache. I didn't want
Yep.
to, right? And you're with me on that,
Yeah,
right?
I think so many of us are kind of in that same boat. It's like we can handle all the stuff when the leads come in, but it's the getting of the leads that's always the challenge, right?
Exactly, exactly. And we advise, yeah, go do this. And one of the challenges, especially for the small business owner, which is the majority of the Keep company
Mhm.
clients, right? Is most of the reputable ad agencies were charging a minimum of $2,500 a month management fee, plus another 30% of whatever you were spending on ads. And the ads didn't always work. It
Yeah.
was a shooting, shotgun approach, and you hoped you were hitting something, right?
Hmm.
You and I were just actually talking about it. How
Yeah.
many how many ads have we started over the years ourselves for our companies, spent 2 grand and got 2 leads, and neither one was really qualified,
Yep.
right?
It repeats itself over and over and over, right?
And and you're like, oh, why did I do this? Why did I do this? It's working for Joe Schmo out here, or
Yeah.
at least he says on social media it's working for him, right?
Yep.
But it's not working for me. So, in my travels, in all the stuff I've done over the years, I met a woman who a couple of months ago contacted me, and they do ad stuff like I'd never seen ads. The
Hmm.
leads, the costs, the things that were coming in were amazing. Now, they only worked with a few special clients, and they were making literally millions off of individual
Hmm.
clients. They were selling millions and and they're the only company I had ever met that was performance based, not high fee plus percentage of your ad spend. And my
Interesting.
challenge with the percentage of ad spend is so many of them say, okay, so you need a minimum of $20 a day or $100 a day or $1 million a week or whatever it is, because they're making 30% of whatever that is. So
Yeah.
your money wasn't really going into it, right? So anyway, they contacted me a couple of months ago and said, hey, we have done this and we'd like you to come help us launch this company and build it. And
Hmm.
when I looked into what they were doing, so with the ad company, they had a strategy of building an audience first, of getting people to know, like, and trust you
Mhm.
before they saw the paid ad. So their conversion on the paid ads was a much higher percentage.
Yeah.
Most of the time, people are shooting in the dark. Yes, I'm picking females at a certain age, at a certain this and a certain this, and trying to qualify. But do I really know if those are the right people, right?
Right.
So, what they've done and what we've done with RIF Social is we've built a system that allows you to get visibility on your posts, high visibility, like viral visibility on your posts.
Hmm.
And then once we have, 3 to 10,000 views on a post, we then run a series of ads that focus on your individual target market. So whether it's a geolocated HVAC company, for instance, and they want people within 50-mile circumference
Hmm.
radius, whatever that word is, within 50 miles of their location,
Yeah.
then we can do that. If they want English speaking, around the world, we can do that. And we target those people. Now we're using AI
Hmm.
and the meta algorithm in combination to find the right clients who are interested in your product based on the content that you're putting into your posts,
Hmm.
right? So we work with our clients to create what we call screening posts, which help find the right clients and
Yeah.
get them to watch. And we like video posts first
Yeah.
because there's more engagement,
Yeah,
right?
because you can actually, track on Facebook how long somebody's actually watched, that
Exactly.
video post. And so if you've got somebody who's only watched a couple seconds, they're probably not somebody that you necessarily want to target. But if they've watched 15, 30 seconds of a 60-second video, now you know that that's probably somebody that's interested.
Exactly. Well, and we use a 3 second rule. If they've watched it 3 seconds, we
Hmm.
then tag them as fan base.
Okay.
And then we retarget. And if they watch more of the next video and more, we're tracking that. So we're
Yeah.
building engaged audiences based on the quote unquote organic posts that you're doing, right?
Okay.
Not on paid ads.
Yeah.
So we're finding people through the AI and the algorithm who watch your video, like, share, save, comment, any of those things. We're engaging them, and then we're launching 3 more paid ads to go back and retarget on all of those people.
Hmm.
So RIF Social, RIF is stands for reach, impact, and frequency. So the first thing is the reach, the video visibility, building up those views, 3,000 to 10,000 views per
Hmm.
video. Then the impact is the content that you're putting in the video. And we do weekly trainings for free, by the way. So I'm inviting all of you. I'll give Scott the information. And you're welcome to join us for our classes, which are Wednesdays at 2 o'clock Eastern time.
Hmm.
And actually, it's really easy. You go to riffzoom.com at 2 o'clock Eastern time on Wednesdays
Oh,
and
super
come.
simple.
Yeah, real simple. So, the impact, we're helping you with ideas on capturing the content, getting the content that's going to capture the people. And the frequency is the retargeting. So,
Hmm.
we're then showing them your different posts over and over and over and over. And all of a sudden, you've become the authority in
Yeah.
that. When somebody thinks of HVAC in Dallas, Texas, they're going to think AC Rescue because we're retargeting in that area. When they think of email deliverability, they're going to think of Scott Hartley and hit the inbox because we're retargeting in that area. So now, once you've done all of that, and by the way, we've created that whole process to be automated and hands off. The only thing you as a client have to do is post content,
Oh, wow.
right?
Super simple, right?
Very easy.
Now, a
And
couple questions real quick. So I love the fact, like you've broken it down into the RIF. So, the results and or the reach, what was the again? Impact and frequency. So one question I know that like comes to mind for me
Mhm.
is with that reach, you're looking for that 3 to 10,000 people that are, viewing those video posts that are basically organic, right?
Mhm.
How does that kind of work? How do we, like, is this something that I'm posting to my personal page? And, if I've only got, 1,000 friends or like, how does that work that we're getting 3 to 10,000 people?
Sure. So, no, you're posting it to your business page. We can only run ads on posts on business pages, not
Okay.
personal. So, a guerrilla tactic, by the way, is you post to your business page
Hmm.
and then you share it to your personal page. And on
Okay.
the personal page, you put something in that says, hey, by the way, check out what I'm doing here, or
Hmm.
check out this, and comment and let me know what you think. By the way, on your personal page, if you've got 5,000 friends,
Hmm.
those 5,000 friends are not seeing all of your posts. They're
Right.
only getting 3 to 5% of your friends. So at 5%, that's 250
Right.
is the max that's getting exposed when you do just an organic post.
Hmm.
When you pay to play, because Mark Zuckerberg became a billionaire for a reason,
Right.
when you pay to play, that algorithm now says, we're going to show this to everybody in your feed. So
Mm.
you open up that you can do this. And by the way, if you do, for instance, if you're a podcaster like this, when you post this on your page, if you share it to my page, now you're also getting access to all of my people because
Hmm.
of that's a guerrilla tactic that we teach in the
Okay.
process. So you're doing all of that. Now, the 3 to 10,000 views that we're doing,
Hmm.
we're putting those through boosted posts
Okay.
and we're sending it outside of your target audience. We just want to jack up the number of views to start, right?
Yeah.
So that is the first step. There's 4 paid ads that happen with every post. So that's the first one. And
Okay.
then the second is the growth in your target audience. So Dallas, Texas, or the United States, or English speaking worldwide, whatever that target audience is.
Hmm.
And then we have 2 retargeting ads that happen with every ad. So all of that is done. And the cool thing is, when any entrepreneur or small business owner hears Facebook ads, they kind of get anxiety about, oh God, my card's going to be charged every day with all of these freaking Facebook ads, and I have no idea what's happening.
Right?
That doesn't happen. You don't even need an ads manager account.
Oh,
We
really?
handle it. We do it through our own account, which
Okay.
is how we're getting amazing pricing. So we get I've seen some of our ads literally be 0.03 cost per lead
Wow.
on some of the stuff we're doing because we're putting millions of dollars through our ad
Yep.
account on a regular basis. So we get really good rates.
Yeah.
Um, so in the the first ad goes out, then the other three, once we hit the visibility, then
Mhm.
the other three are posted. And that's all automated in the
Okay.
system. But we've done this in a way that we have a single subscription price. You pay the subscription every month, and all of the ad spend is out of that subscription price.
Oh,
So there's no
wow.
surprises, there's no billing from Facebook at all. You just get one bill from us a month, and the rest of it is handled.
And that's totally like different than everybody else because like you mentioned earlier is like typically if you're using a company to do your Facebook ads management, you're paying them a management fee, then you're also having the ad spend, and then of course paying a percentage of that to that company. So it's like you're getting build upon build upon build, and it's like, am I actually going to make this money back? Whereas
Yeah,
like with
and how
this,
much?
it's like it's a one monthly fee that like is all inclusive there, and you don't have to worry about any surprises.
Exactly, exactly. Now, so the building the audience, building authority is the first step, and that's
Yep.
the subscription price. Now, to really get the juice, and everybody says, what about leads? What about leads? The audience building and the authority building is not necessarily lead generation.
Mm-hmm.
It's building a community of people who know, like, and trust you and will refer you and use you when they need you, right?
Yep.
And that's been the trick with email marketing, right? You
Yeah.
email enough so that you get the email in their inbox at the time when they want or need you. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so we're doing the same thing with this audience building.
Yeah.
Now, the next step, because remember we talked about all the ads that you were paying and you got two and they were not qualified, right? They
Yep.
didn't know who the heck you were, but they wanted your free ebook,
Yeah.
right? And you just spent $200 to give them a free ebook. So we want to build this audience of people who know, like, and trust you. And then that's when we want to send out targeted lead generation paid advertising.
Mm-hmm.
And we can add that on as an upgrade to people. We want you to build an audience 3 to 6 months, build the audience, build the community, and then start doing the paid ads. And when we do paid ads, we do it for a small management fee, and your ads are completely at cost. There's no percentage, nothing that's coming from
Mm-hmm.
that. We're handling this. The analogy, and my partner Bill came up with this today. I was telling you earlier, I love this analogy. So we go to a bar and I say, Scott, go walk around and ask everybody in this bar for their phone number, right? And we might get two or three numbers, and they're probably not the people we really wanted their phone numbers with, right? Because
Or
they
maybe
don't
not even
know.
the right phone numbers for them, right?
How many times have we seen Mickey Mouse in email lists?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And others. I've seen really nasty email addresses,
Yep.
right? So, yeah, probably not even the right numbers. So, that's one way. That's paid advertising, just shooting in the dark. You
Yeah.
might get a couple of numbers, they might be qualified, but probably not.
Yeah.
Now, if I said, "Hey, Scott, I've hacked into the security system and I want you to walk around the bar and, kind of walk by everybody in the bar. And we're going to watch the security cameras and see who's checking you out. And then we're going to have you go talk to them and ask for their phone number." Now you have somebody who was interested,
Mm-hmm.
raised their hand by going, right?
Yep.
And now we've approached them and said, "Hey, would you like to talk? Let's exchange numbers." That's what's happening when we're building the community and then layering the ads on top of that.
Yeah, that's such a smart strategy because you want to make sure that you're attracting the right people. Otherwise, it's just you're throwing money in the wind and hoping, that you're getting some type of return on it. And most of the times, as I think all of us have experienced, it doesn't work out too well.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Now, when it comes to the content, I know, like for myself, and I'm starting to overcome this, but it can be somewhat intimidating to stand in front of a computer or, walk down the street with a selfie stick, in your phone and trying to record a video and everything. What are some of the tips and strategies that you recommend to clients on creating these videos, just to kind of help build that authority and for those initial campaigns?
Absolutely. So ChatGPT has become the entrepreneur's best friend, right? So get Chat, talk to Chat and say, "Here's who my audience, here's who my ideal client is.
Hmm.
Tell me some of the struggles they're having towards this, XYZ, whatever it is you deliver.
Hmm.
And give me 30 video, short, 2 to 3 minute video ideas that I can help educate them on how to overcome their challenges."
Hmm.
Want to educate in your videos. You don't want every video, and this is where I think people get most intimidated, because 9 out of 10 people that you meet or we meet as clients are not in the business of sales. They don't feel like they're a salesperson. They hate
Right.
sales, right?
Right.
They want nothing to do with sales. But yet all of their videos are, "Hey, it's bargain day." It sounds like the used car salesman, right? "It's bargain day. Come on down and see what kind of boat we can put you in."
Yep.
So we don't want to sell for them. We want to give them tips. So for instance, I was talking about an HVAC company. "Hey, did you know if you change your filters, every month you have lower electricity rates? Hey, did you know if you do this or if you do this?" Or, hey, Freon is either there or not there. So if an HVAC company is trying to sell you on, "You need 2 pounds of Freon," run quickly because they're scamming you,
Yeah.
right? Whatever the tips are.
Hmm.
Um, and the other challenge that I find clients have is finding the time to do it. And if every day, I have my stick over here, if every day you got to figure out and go walk around and figure out what you're going to talk about. I have some clients who do that. They carry, they're doing their morning walk and they carry their phone and selfie stick and they record just whatever their thoughts are for the day.
Hmm.
And some people love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But giving some education, schedule an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. It can be during the work week. It can be on a Saturday or Sunday. "Hey, the first Sunday of every month, I'm going to film for 3 hours. I'm going to have 10, 15 videos that I did. I'm going to, feed them into my video editor." By the way, we have a video editor built into the back end. There is a credit, like a, big stock kind of, iStock
Hmm.
kind of credit for using it. But add TikTok style captioning to it
Hmm.
and then schedule them, because the Facebook business pages, you can schedule in one session all 10 videos you're doing for the next 30 days, one every 3 days or
Hmm.
whatever it be. and knock it all out in a 2 or 3 hour session and be done with it for the month.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. And I've started to do those types of videos myself. And you're just kind of thinking of common questions that, people ask me, they send over an email or in my, Facebook community, they're asking different types of questions. Like, and even on a podcast that I was a guest on a couple weeks ago, they asked, hey, what do you think about the super signature, in an email? Well, that's a hot topic. So, again, just kind of like thinking of those types of things. And I love that you said, batching that because I found for myself, block scheduling in my calendar works wonders. When I, so like all of these podcasts that I'm doing interviews, like with you, I'm doing all the recordings, usually within a 3 day period. And then later that week, that's when I do all the post-production stuff. And then I've got all of those podcasts done and I can get things done and it doesn't seem like a chore and it doesn't seem like it takes forever or that I'm having to give up doing something else because it just becomes part of my daily routine.
Exactly. It's just like baking cookies, right? At
Yep.
Christmas, you can bake 15 dozen cookies all at once because everything's out and it's easy. But if
Yeah.
you had to do a dozen a day for 15 days, they would not be done.
Yeah, and something too that I don't know, maybe this is just serendipitous, but like over the past week, I think really since the beginning of the year, on Facebook, I have seen numerous times this post. It's the same one that keeps popping up, but it says that the first time that you do anything, it's going to suck. Your first podcast is going to suck. Your first email is going to suck. All that type of stuff. But you have to do those first reps in order to get better. And so I'm sure that you would probably advise your clients like your first videos that you create, on whatever it is that you're talking about, you're going to look back and you're going to cringe like, oh my gosh, I actually put that out into the world. But the more that you do it, it becomes, second nature and you get so much better at it, right?
Oh, absolutely. The first time I tried, and here's another Jamieism. Perfection is poverty.
Yep.
So don't worry, it's good enough, right? The
Yeah.
first videos I did, God, it's been about 10 years ago. I started with my index cards and I'm flipping through them and I'm filming, and I sounded like an idiot. And it took 35 posts, 35 recordings before I got one I liked. Don't do that. It's good enough because one of the things that's happened in this social media revolution is we've gotten used to seeing real people
Yeah.
doing real things. And people like the real people better than, professional video has its place. I have a professional video client who, production company, if you need professional videos, they're
Hmm.
amazing, happy to pass it on. But you don't need every post to be professional video. It doesn't seem real, especially for those of us that are small businesses. And we
Yeah.
can't afford that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just being yourself is what people want.
Well, and I think, especially as AI becomes more and more prevalent, for doing a lot of things, writing copy and so on and so forth, that people are starting to see like, okay, this is like all robotic and everything, and they want that real authenticity. That's why, like on these podcasts, I don't do any editing of the podcast. If, we slip up and, do something stupid and crazy, it's going to be in the podcast recording,
There,
on the video and the audio
for
just because it's the
posterity's
real
sake.
thing, right? It's live.
Exactly.
So, well, I know we're getting close to the end of our time here, and I appreciate what you shared. I mean, what you're doing with Riff Social is, in my opinion, really turning the social media advertising space on its head. It's a new way of approaching it to actually get better results because I know for myself that I have wasted so much time and so much money enriching Mark Zuckerberg's pocket on Facebook ads to get zero results. But with what you're doing, building those audiences first so that they know, like, and trust you. They've got respect for you. They know who you are. And then you've got this audience that you can then go after that is like, these people are interested. They may not be ready to buy, but they're at least interested in what you have. Now you can start promoting to them, getting them as leads to opt in so that you can then follow up with them, and eventually, some of them may become paying clients, right? And refer
Exactly.
you and all of that.
Yeah, and being in front of them until they're ready to buy.
Yeah, that's the key,
So,
right?
yeah.
Well, I know that you've got a special offer for our listeners, so I'll let you share that real quick before we
I
wrap
do,
up.
I do. We're going to put the link in the show notes
Uh-huh.
for everyone. But if you go to our link and purchase one of our subscriptions, we'll give you 10% off the first month. So you'll save some money there for the first month.
Awesome.
And you're going to use promo code. This one's really difficult, guys. You got to Scott. So
Look, we tried to
promo
make it as hard as we could, right?
exactly. Promo code Scott with a capital S.
Awesome. Well, Jamie, I really appreciate that. If you're looking to do social media in 2025 here, there's going to be a lot of changes that are happening in the entire world. Social media, there's already a lot of changes happening in email marketing. This is a great tool. I mean, when Jamie and I talked about this several months ago, I was like, oh, I'm so interested in what she's doing with RIF Social. And I knew that I had to bring her on to share this with you guys here on the podcast. So really hope that you got some nuggets on how you can approach social media to actually get results, because I know that there's so many of us that are doing social media marketing that are just so frustrated with it, and it can seem out of reach for a lot of small business owners to effectively use it. But I think with what Jamie and her team are doing, that it's a total game changer of how we can approach social media cost effectively and actually get a positive return on investment. So make sure that you're going to the link in the show notes, because that way you can grab the link there. You also have the promo code that you can use to get 10% off of your first month subscription there. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just a month-to-month type of thing. There's no long-term commitment. Is that right?
No long-term commitment. We do recommend you commit to 3 to 6 months to really build your audience and see the
Yep.
results. It's just like email marketing, same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. And don't forget to join us Wednesdays at 2 o'clock Eastern. What is that, 11 o'clock Pacific time? At rifzoom.com, rifzoom.com. And I'll also send you a link, Scott, for my calendar. If
Okay.
somebody wants to talk strategy and how this will work for them, I'll give a half an hour of my time to your audience for that as well.
Fantastic. Well, we'll make sure we've got all of those links in the show notes. That way you can check that out. And if you're looking to supercharge your email marketing, check out my book, Hit the Inbox, at hittheinboxbook.com. It's packed with 76 pages of strategies to get your emails landing in inboxes and driving sales. Thanks for tuning in today. If you found value in this episode, please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on your favorite platform. It helps us reach more entrepreneurs like you. And until next time, keep crushing it in the trenches.